Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Onyx Honorees Award. I have the beautiful Miss Carolyn House Stewart with us, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and who she is.
Good morning. I'm Carolyn House Stewart. I'm an attorney. I've practiced law for over 40 years. I'm the former international president of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I'm just so honored to be honored by Onyx Magazine. It is just, I'm so humbled to be here in the presence of so many fantastic women who have led the charge to crack the glass ceiling and have a seat at the head of the table.
Oh, that's awesome. So the question I have for you, what have inspired you to come where you are right now at this point of your life?
Being surrounded by people who've nurtured me, loved me, supported me, a great family, great teachers, and a wonderful community.
Okay, so that's awesome, but tell me, what would you tell a young girl that's 10, 12, that she has a desire that she wants to be an attorney, may even want to be an international president of her sorority of choice? What would you tell her how would she get prepared for that?
Do the work, study, give service, give of yourself, give of your time, volunteer, and basically as a leader, when you're serving and doing things, people will notice you. And also let your desire to serve be known, because it's really about what's in your heart. It's about helping people. You don't ask to lead, you lead. It's an action word.
That's awesome. I totally agree with that. That is awesome. Thank you, Ms. Stewart. It's a pleasure, and I'm so excited to be here with you.
Thank you, and I just encourage everyone to pursue your dreams, follow your dreams. Whatever you imagine, you can do it.
Good morning, everyone. I have Dr. Paulette Walker with me. She's going to tell us who she is and what she's accomplished, and she's an honoree as well.
Good morning. Thank you so much, first of all, for even having me here. As she indicated, I am Paulette Walker. I'm the immediate past national president of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I'm one of the Onyx Magazine honorees, and I am I'm honored to be honored that people would think that much of me to say, we might want to include her. And when I look at all the others who are being honored today, I know I'm in the right place and definitely with the right company, because these are definitely women on the move.
Oh, that's awesome, Dr. Walker. Now, tell me this. How does it feel to be a woman on the move?
Well, the fact that I'm moving makes me feel good. The fact that I woke up this morning makes me feel good. So to be known as a woman on the move says that others are seeing things in me that I probably don't even see in myself. And that I thought I was retired, but it looks like, as they say, we're moving on up.
No retirement. That's awesome. I don't think you should retire either, because I noticed you when I walked in the room, honey. I was like, okay, who is this lady with all this red on? But anyway, I don't think retirement is in the cards anywhere. So I do have a question. What would you say to inspire young women that has dream and goals, and they may have a little challenges on the way?
I think the main advice I would give them is you never let anybody define your destiny. You never let anybody define who you are. You never let anybody take the J out of your joy. And when they say no, you say yes, and you show them how quickly you can make that yes become a positive reality. That would be my advice.
Onyx Magazine, Women on the Move, Ms. Carolyn Fennell, Senior Director of Public Affairs and Community Relations of the Greater Orlando Aviation Authority.
There are moments in life, and this is a moment. There are moments of elevation, there are moments of pride, there are moments of insight, and there are moments of connection. Today's event represents all of those areas. As we look at and we hear from the women that are being celebrated today, it is an awesome experience that we can come together and say, women on the move, you have gone beyond just becoming, but you're here, and in this moment, we celebrate you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2019 Onyx Magazine Women on the Move Awards Luncheon, with founding partner, title sponsor Orlando Health, And presenting sponsor, Commissioner Samuel B. Eames, District 6, City of Orlando. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Onyx Magazine's Women on the Move celebrates trailblazers. Trailblazers who have done so much to make a difference in business and in their communities. These phenomenal women have made significant strides and are paving the way for others. Our 2019 Women on the Move honorary class embodies the very spirit of women that we have grown to recognize and applaud and follow after. Women like Fannie Lou Hamer, Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, Oprah Winfrey, First Lady Michelle Obama, and other women who have delivered and dedicated their lives to transforming the lives of others. Today, you can say that you're here and you can help applaud these women on the move. And many of them, when they tell their stories, they'll have stories of moments that have made a difference. They understand that you can't make decisions based on fear and the possibility of what might happen. Michelle Obama said that. And then without faith, nothing is possible. With it, nothing is impossible. That was Mary McLeod Bethune. At this time, we want to welcome Pastor Sharon Riley at Agape Perfecting Praise and Worship Center to deliver our invocation. Pastor Riley.
Can we take just a moment and approach the throne of grace as we bow our heads in prayer? Most gracious and wise God, we bless you for who you are. We thank you for this day. It's the day that you've made, and you're teaching us to rejoice and to be glad in it. So as we pause to celebrate not only who you are, what you've done, and who it is that you have caused these women to become, we thank you today, God, for your strength and for your peace. God, we thank you for these women, these mothers, these daughters. We thank you for the mission and vision of this movement that comes to celebrate and lift up these women, these who have stood in communities, these who have stood in the gap, these who have made differences wherever you have planted their feet. Today we've come to celebrate them. We can't celebrate them, God, without celebrating you, for you are their creator. And so, God, we thank you today as we come representing diverse cultures. We're not the same color, all of us. We're not of the same conviction, but the one thing that we do share in common is that we are all your children. We are all your daughters, God. These are your sons. And so as we come before your throne of grace, we invoke your presence in this place. God, we invite you to be very present. God, there are women who will be honored, and when they are honored, you will be celebrated. God, there are women who have done tremendous things throughout this state, throughout this nation. And Father, we have to stop to applaud them so that we can celebrate you. And so, Father, we bless you, God, because some of them are just like Deborah. They have stood and they have supported and strengthened and fortified the efforts of others selflessly. And then, God, there are others who are just like Esther, who have stood in the gap for their people to make a difference in order to secure the safety and the prominence of their people. And so today, Father, we bless you. We bless you for the coordinators. God, we thank you today for Onyx Magazine, and we ask your blessings even upon the magazine, Father, upon their efforts throughout the community, throughout the state of Florida. But God, today we want to just pause to say thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you've allowed these women to accomplish. And so, Father, we pray right now a hedge of protection round about them, round about their businesses, round about their visions, round about their families. And we ask, God, that you will continue to bless them with grace and strength and peace and divine wisdom and understanding and compassion and love. And God, allow them to continue to stand with an indomitable spirit. Allow them to lead relentlessly, Father. Allow them to persevere tirelessly to become who it is that you have ordained them to be in this season. Now, Father, we pause just to say thank you. We bless you even for the meal that has been prepared. Allow it to nourish and strengthen our bodies and bless our time together. In Jesus' name, we thank you and we give you all the praise. Amen and amen.
And so she has spoken. to our Women on the Move honorees. Our publisher, Mr. Rich Black, realized when he met her that she would be the one to make the vision of the Women on the Move concept a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chair of Onyx Advisory Committee, Ms. Deidre Parker.
Good afternoon. As chairman of Onyx Magazine, Women on the Move, I want to welcome you and thank you for joining me in this Women's History celebration. Together, we take pride in African American history, and especially the women that contributed to that courageous history. The stories of remarkable African American women are exceptional and inspiring, and we pay tribute to the women before us who not only influence lives, but positively influence social conditions for all of us. These can-do women have shattered the glass ceiling that has in the past prevented women from reaching their God-given potential as it relates to government, business, politics, education, technology, medicine, and civic and social advocacy. Each of the 2019 Women on the Move honorees have braved roads less traveled to create forward paving opportunities and exemplify this year's theme, Visionary Champions. On this very special afternoon, we salute our mothers and grandmothers for their courage, faith, and resilience. Hopefully, they are looking down from the heavens and applauding the visionary champions of our culture here with us today. At this time, I would like to take the opportunity to thank our advisory committee for their contributions. All the members of the committee take time out of their busy schedule to plan, organize, and oversee all of the events. Their work and energy are making a difference, and we could not do these events without them. Would you please stand and be recognized? All the advisory committee members, please stand and be recognized. Again, thank you. And on behalf of Onyx Magazine Advisory Committee, I would like to extend our appreciation for the amazing work done by the staff. Your diligent self-motivation, as well as dedication, always go the extra mile in order to achieve the best possible results is admirable. Would you please stand and be recognized, Onyx Magazine staff? Again, we thank you for your support and welcome you to Onyx Magazine Women on the Move Class of 2019 celebration. Enjoy.
You know, it takes a lot to put on an event like this, and the advisory group and Ms. Parker stood, but let's give them another round of applause for all the We want to welcome to the stage now to introduce our publisher, Dr. Laverne Gracie. She needs little introduction. In this community, we know her as a trailblazer, a civil rights activist, her historic struggle for desegregation as the first student of color to integrate the public school system in Gainesville, Florida, was recognized in a CNN special. No introduction, but certainly a welcome to the stage and applause for Dr. Laverne Gracie.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is with esteemed pleasure that I introduce to some and present to others the visionary behind Women on the Move, Mr. Richard Black. Rich Black is a man who knows how to get the job done. He is committed to the community, to mentoring at-risk youth, and creating options for diversity and inclusion. These are qualities that define Onyx magazine publisher, Rich Black. Under his leadership, Onyx Media Group now houses Onyx Magazine, Onyx Business Connect, Onyx Women on the Move, and Onyx Awards. He also established the Onyx Media Group Foundation. Onyx Magazine has received numerous awards and most recently was recognized by Orange County Public Schools for its commitment for documenting the accomplishments and contributions of African Americans and those of the African diaspora. Mr. Black was recently the recipient of the prestigious Dick Gregory Good Brother Award for outstanding commitment to advancing minority communities. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our publisher, editor-in-chief of Florida's premier African-American publication, Onyx Magazine, which celebrates the outstanding achievements of African Americans, Mr. Richard Black.
Keep applauding, darling. He's wonderful.
Give yourselves a round of applause. You look awesome and phenomenal. Who would have ever thought 4 years ago just a dream and a vision to celebrate women based upon a conversation that was going on at a dining room table with my mother. And we were celebrating our father who had passed in 2004 of all of the awesome things he did. And my mother sat at the Thanksgiving dinner and she says, your father was a king because I was a queen and a kingmaker. Make sure you record that. We sat there and we thought about it. Oftentimes we move through life thinking that the women who have always been there, always keeping us propped, always in the gap, sometimes we take them for granted. I spoke to Marisol Romney with Orlando Health, and we were just having a casual conversation. And I said, Marisol, what could we do to celebrate women, the women who do the heavy lifting every day? Bring home the bacon fried up in the pan. How can we celebrate every woman, these individuals who have given so many contributions? And we decided that we would put together an initiative, Women on the Move. That initiative started out with about 40 individuals under the leadership of our chair, Dee Parker, and also our co-chair, Nancy Swab, that looked at you today, 320 strong. The only thing I didn't do was put you in the ceiling. So give yourselves a round of applause. I'm so excited today that we have someone who is not only the Woman of the Year, she's doing some extraordinary things. And also from the Virgin Islands, we have our institutional and international Woman of the Year. Last year you were here, and the last one was from Botswana. This one came in on yesterday from the Virgin Islands. I want to thank each and every one of you. All you need to have subscription to Onyx Magazine. That's the sales side of it. But some of you all can't. It's only $19.99 a year to our founding partner, Orlando Health, and also to our presenting sponsor, Commissioner Hill, and to my great friend, Commissioner Higgs, and to our friend, Commissioner Hill, who's on the side. I live in District 5 and I work in District 6. So I make sure that I keep both of my commissioners at hip. So thank you, enjoy your meal, and we will see you after the show. Let's give another round of applause for Ms. Carolyn today. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you.
Now that you've heard from the publisher while we're here, we want to ask to have a welcome by Ms. Marisol Romani, who is one of the directors of Diversity and Minority Business Development. We'll ask her to welcome you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It makes us extremely happy to see so many beautiful people together, gathered every year, especially in Women's Month. Orlando Health is a community-based network of hospitals, physician practices, and outpatient care centers across Central Florida, where we look forward to serving you when it matters most. We are a $3.4 billion not-for-profit healthcare organization that last year alone contributed $450 million in community benefit programs and sponsorships such as the regarded Women on the Move with Onyx magazine. Our 8 hospitals include Orlando Regional Medical Center, Dr. P. Phillips Hospital, South Lake Hospital, South Seminole Hospital, Health Central Hospital, Arnold Palmer Medical Center for Children, Winnie Palmer Hospital for Women and Babies, and St. Cloud Regional Medical Center. We appreciate Onyx magazine for highlighting women who are brilliant, high achievers, and pillars within their professional fields. It is a privilege to celebrate this event together with the Onyx honorees, Onyx team, business partners, and the outstanding women of this community. This annual event, honoring trailblazing women of color across Florida, is an inspiration to us all. As when we give to the world our best, nothing but the best can come back to us. Thank
You have been welcomed. You've met the publisher. Now it's time for greetings from members of our community. I want to bring forth Deidre Parker, Commissioner Samuel Eames of District 6, Tanisha Gary, who is Executive Director of the African American Chamber of Commerce, and Annette Dix, who is the President of the National Council of Negro Women in Central Florida, for a very brief briefing.
Let's give a round of applause, Commissioner Eames, as you come out to our presenters. Commissioner Eames has been with us for 4 years since the beginning of this initiative. We spoke with him and he said to us, I will support. We didn't have a business plan or anything. He just said, I just believe you ought to get the job done. Let's give him another round of applause.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. You know, it's indeed a privilege and an honor to be here today to support Mr. Rich Black and Onyx magazine. But I'd like to say congratulations to the lady that's 92 years old, Dr. Melissa Freeman, Onyx magazine 2019 Woman of the Year. You know, we have all heard the adage that behind every successful man stands a successful woman. And I'd like to introduce my wife, June Marie Eames. Would you stand and be recognized? Today, I would like to add that behind every successful man stands a group of super successful women. And no one illustrates this statement better than the outstanding 2019 Onyx Magazine Women on the Move honorees. Let's give them a round of applause. I am so honored to be an Onyx Magazine presenting sponsor of this grand celebration and offer my congratulations to the most magnificent women in Florida. Thank you for positively impacting our communities as movers and shakers. We are blessed to have your greatness right here in our own backyard. I am extremely proud of publisher and editor-in-chief of Onyx magazine, Rich Black, for hosting this elegant luncheon to salute great women in our communities as an ongoing tradition for the magazine and not just as a trend. Onyx has been honoring women with their signature inaugural luncheon since 2016 and has made their mission to recognize the accomplishments of more than 100 women in Florida. Look around you in this room and you will see women just like you who rank among the most extraordinary. And I'm going to ask all of the men that are here today if you would stand up and let's give a standing ovation for all of our women in this place today. We love you and we appreciate you. Thank you so much. For the women seated at your tables represent men, from civil rights leaders to CEOs, industry pioneers to philanthropists, and single mothers to moguls. Today's honorees have triumphed and trailblazed some of the most challenging terrain. This luncheon hosted by Onyx magazine is a testament that women who achieve should be treated like royalty. Let's applaud our women honorees as they take their rightful place on stage to accept their trophies. Again, congratulations to Rich Black of Onyx magazine and the 2019 Women on the Move honorees for celebrating great women who are truly on the move in our communities and throughout the world, and you are blessed. Thank you so much, and God bless.
African American Chamber. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Directors, staff, and members of the African American Chamber of Commerce of Central Florida, I am delighted to bring you greetings. What a special way to begin Women's History Month by honoring the women in our sheroes. Let's hear it for all of our sheroes. As the great Ruby Dee once stated, the kind of beauty I want most is the hard-to-get kind of beauty that comes from within. Strength, courage, and dignity. Today's honorees all have not only outer beauty, but most importantly, the inner beauty of strength, courage, and dignity. I salute all of you in the class of 2019 Women of the Move and our Woman of the Year, Dr. Melissa Freeman. Thank you for being servant leaders and for meeting community leads all over the state of Florida. Thank you to Onyx magazine and the publisher Rich Black, Deidre Parker, and the entire committee for putting this together to highlight the significant accomplishments and achievements of today's honorees. Again, congratulations and enjoy the afternoon. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Officers and members and friends of Women on the Move, thank you so much for inviting Central Florida Section of the National Council of Negro Women to bring you greetings this afternoon. It is indeed a pleasure for me to do so, and I'd like to, in the meantime, congratulate all the honorees that are here, especially the 92-year-old. That's amazing. We were charged in October 2017, so we're kind of a new kid on the block. And for those of you that's not that familiar with Grandma Bethune, she is the founder of the National Council of Female Women, headquartered in Washington, D.C. She is also the founder of the Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona, for those that are not familiar with her. Dr. Bethune also has a purpose for the people that she recruited. And she had a special love for the youth. And in her legacy, she said that we should always, always remember the youth because they are our future. Our purpose is to be a powerful force for our people in our community. That is our pledge for the Central for the Secretary of the National Council of Female Women. At this time, Mr. Black, I would like to thank you so much for your help, your hard work in helping us get organized and get our charter from Washington, D.C. You were indeed a great asset to us as a Central Florida session. Bethune's legacy alive, we thank you and appreciate your dedication. The statue in Daytona Beach, and we will soon have a bust of her in the Statuary Hall in Washington, D.C. Hopefully by the end of this year. All of us have a point of light. It can only be seen if we flip the switch. Thank you so much, and again, congratulations to all the honorees.
Everybody else.
And that's it. We have had such a welcoming and such greetings, but I would be remiss if I failed to ask the elected officials in the room to please stand and be recognized. So thank you all for being here and for supporting this effort, because you truly are also women on the move. And we also already heard from Commissioner Ings. I wasn't calling him a woman on the move. That wasn't what I was saying at all. As we move into our lunch, it's almost that time, we want to invite Graham Morse, who is the entrepreneur and vice president of the Horace Construction, and Mrs. D. Snell Deschanel, to come as she's the managing editor of Onyx magazine. The light in my eye, I can't read it here, sorry about that.
This is a treat because I'm usually always in the background. So I'm Lena Graham Morris, and here with
I'm D. Chanel Reed.
Onyx Magazine Woman on the Move Award is one of the most coveted celebrations in the state. It recognizes dynamic achievements of women of color. This event is made possible by the aid and commitment and generosity of our much appreciated sponsors. When we call your name, you will come to the stage and receive your token of our appreciation and have your photo taken.
Thank you, Lena. We want to thank again for Orlando Health. Let's give them another round of applause for 100 years of service in our community. Incredible. And thank you also to Commissioner Ings for your service to our community. At this time, we would like to thank our entertainment sponsor, Mercedes-Benz, our publisher, where are they? Okay. Our publisher, Rich Black, always reminds us that Onyx has the oldest and best, one of the oldest advertisers in Mercedes-Benz, and we're just grateful to have them here. And I would like to welcome Mr. Bob Berryhill to the stage. Hey, how are you? And also to our honorees reception sponsor. continuing support and for hosting a lovely reception. Thank you. It was beautiful last night. Sorry. So representing Tupperware Brands is Mr. Mark Shamley, the Vice President of Global Social Impact.
We also would like to thank our event sponsors who would call your name if you could all come to the stage and remain on the stage together for a group photo. Commissioner Regina Hill, who was a 2018 Woman on the Move honoree and a supporter of Onyx Media. Miss Yolanda Lee of Outback Steakhouse. She is the only African American woman to own an Outback Steakhouse. Mr. Justin Williams, the first African American to serve as General Manager of the Grand Bohemian. Miss Gail DeWitt, who is always there for Onyx Magazine. Miss Gail Thomas DeWitt of Gail and Wynn Mortuary. She also serves on the Onyx Magazine Advisory Committee. And last but not least, thank you to Clear Channel. There's a special treat today. You may see a billboard with our Women on the Move throughout Central Florida. So thank you so much to Ryan Frazier and his team. If someone from Clear Channel would be able to come up. Give another round of applause for all of our event sponsors.
Thank you. We also would remind you that when you're taking photos and taking video, please be sure to hashtag Onyx WOTM. Thank you.
You know, we take time in recognizing those who have contributed, and I owe certainly the doctors, the lawyers, the judges, the people who have served, the journalists, and all of you an applause, because you certainly support the Women on the Move. And I just saw Commissioner Hill. I said, I didn't see you. It's hard to see from up here. But you did see Commissioner Regina Hill. We certainly want to recognize her as being here. Did I miss any other elected official? I don't want you to leave here and say, so, did I miss anybody else? I did call her. I'll call her again, Commissioner Sibley. Everybody heard me say that, right? It is such a pleasure to have this kind of representation. But it is, I'm getting ready to say lunch is served, but I get already into it, so please enjoy. And after enjoying your lunch, we are going to be entertained by Lady Stats, Joanna Fleming. Enjoy Network, and we'll be back in just a moment so you can meet the 2019 Women on the Move.
Good morning, everyone. I have Miss Melanie Williams here with me. We're at the Onyx Honoree Awards. Well, not really awards, but we are honoring some black women that are on the move. So how are you today, Miss Melanie?
I'm doing wonderful. I feel honored to be here with a fabulous, wonderful women who've made have made a path for each one of us, and I'm just honored to be a part of it.
Okay, that is wonderful. We're happy to have you here. Now tell the people about Miss Williams.
I'll tell you, I'm Melanie Williams, and I've been with Frontier Communications 32 plus years. I started the company as an operator, 411, and now I'm a senior leader in the business. So I have the ability to work with people, engage, and understand what it's like to be in those places, and you never ever forget where you came from, because they're the people that keep you where you are. So I'm thankful and honored to be here with you today.
That's awesome. So, that's an anomaly now to be a company 32 years. Like, that doesn't happen anymore, like for real. You get fired or you leave or whatever happens, but that is awesome for you to be somewhere for 32 years. Now, what would you tell a young girl that starts off in a business where like she's a 401 caller or maybe an intern or maybe an assistant? What would you say to her to keep her moving if she wants to be the president of that company one day?
My feedback would be do your best every day, recreate your best the next day, and give your best the following day. And that's all you can do is just continue to learn and reinvent yourselves on a regular basis.
Okay, now that's awesome. But we're going to keep you in the corporate world, so we're going to keep it real for a minute.
Right.
Now, you know, being a black woman in the corporate world is very difficult. So what would you tell a young lady that's very passionate about what she does? However, she's not getting the accolades that she deserves, and she doesn't want to come out because we have this thing as black women. We don't want to be braggadocious. Our mom have already told us, don't brag, your work will speak for itself. But a lot of times it does not speak for itself. So what would you tell that young lady that's very passionate about what she wants and don't want to be labeled the angry black girl or the angry black woman, and how she can accomplish those goals? Because it's difficult for us than it is for a lot of people.
Right. I would say stay focused on what's in front of you. Never forget about the job you're doing. Your results are the equalizer, and let them tell the story so you don't have to. So stay in front of it, get the results done, and have people come to you and ask you, how are you getting it done? That's how you get the exposure. You never have to raise your hand if you're doing the right things for yourself.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, do you have a book or anything?
I don't.
Well, you should consider, because being in a workplace for 32 years and being able to accomplish what you have accomplished, we need that as, black women. So I have one last question for you. Who has inspired you throughout your career?
I would say my mother. She's been my biggest inspiration. She's been my toughest critic, and she also has always believed in me. And so every time I call her and tell her about something great happening at work, and she tells me I expected it, I'm not surprised. And so to that point, it just makes me continue to push and so forth, because she doesn't see a limit for me. And so when she does that, I continue to persevere and move forward.
Hello, everybody. I am here with the International Woman on the Move, Miss Penn. How you doing, Miss Penn?
Tremendous. Very happy. Very delighted to be part of today's event and the whole Onyx 2019 class of 2019. I'm delighted to be with such an amazingly accomplished group of women. All of them are. And of course, it's a humble honor and a great inspiration to me and for me to meet Dr. Melissa Freeman. Truly delighted.
Yes, and that's what I said too. This was amazing. It was some women on the move in this room. And let's get a view of this award.
Yes, it's very special.
It's very special and it's heavy. So I want Miss Penn to tell everyone who she is, because that accent is lovely, honey.
My name is Dancia Penn. I am from the island of Tortola in the Virgin Islands in the Caribbean. So I'm a very proud daughter of the Caribbean soil, but a human being and a member of the human family. Wherever we come from, wherever we hail from. Delighted.
She's been modest, but that's okay. She's been modest, that's okay, because I know when they introduced you, they said you were Attorney General, yes, and you have all of these accolades. So she's been modest, but that's okay. But I do have a question for you. Tell me this. You didn't give us all of your accolades, and I understand that. That's fine. Modesty is okay. So tell me, what have you done, or what can you say to a young woman that wants to aspire to be in a position that you're in right now?
Thank you for asking me that. I believe very much that we're all stewards and that we have a responsibility as human beings to hand on to the next generation. As we move up the ladder, we need to leave it down so that others can climb up on the ladder, and we need to open doors, and as those doors are opened and we walk through them, leave them open for the generations to come. So my message to young girls and to young people, period, is a simple message. Strive to be your best find who you are, find what is the most important thing you think you can do. Find yourself and be yourself and always do what is right. Strive for honesty, principle, integrity, and the sky is your limit.
Oh, that's great advice. So tell me this, who inspired you the most?
Wonderful question. I would say my mother and the women in my life. I grew up in a small village on a Caribbean island. It's called East End on the island of Tortola. And I saw every day examples of very great and powerful women. I came from a very happy, close-knit family. I am wearing on my left little finger my grandmother's engagement ring and her wedding ring. I wear them every time I have a special occasion. And receiving this award today was a very special occasion. So I brought her rings with me and I'm wearing them. And it's little things like that that keep me grounded, that keep me aspiring, that keep me contributing. And all of the things that I've been able to do in my life, I have always remained grounded. I've been a lawyer for nearly 40 years. I've had a very distinguished career as a lawyer, even if I say so. I have what is called the rank of Queen's Counsel, so I have the right to have the letter QC after my name. And I have had a good career in private practice as a law as well as in government, as Attorney General, as a judge, as a Minister of Government.
That's amazing.
And I remain very happy. I was born with a very happy spirit. I laugh a lot. I know not to take myself too seriously. You know, I take myself seriously, but not too seriously. Okay. And the ability to laugh at yourself and to make fun of yourself is one of the great virtues. Okay. and it's something I'd like to pass on. Don't take yourself too seriously.
That's awesome. Let us see those rings.
To a great life. Yes,
so let's see those engagement rings.
1919.
Keep her grounded right there. That is amazing. Well, I'm so happy that she did give you a few of her accolades with the Q behind her name. So QC, look, see that? Queen's Counsel. That means she's really special. So congratulations, Ms. Penn, and thank you for speaking with me today.
Thank you very much.
I can say I went to a luncheon on a Friday afternoon to celebrate Women on the Move, and we moved. There is no question about it. You know, this is Women's History Month, following Black History Month. And as we look at people at our tables, and I know you're networking, but just so you get to know who's in the room, I'd like for all of you who were first in your fields, in your profession, no conversation, just stand and wave, because it's History Month. All of you that were first, all of you that were first, all of you that were first, stand up. Thank you. So when you leave this room, we talk about the 2019 Women on the Move. Now you've had fun at lunch, and I've been told we need to move the program. I gave you an opportunity to be seen. So can we resume the program and save the networking for later? I'm playing teacher now. But we want to hear from our speaker, and we want to let you meet directly all of the wonderful women that are being recognized today. So would you please let me introduce and bring to the podium women on the chair and co-chair, Dee Parker and Nancy Swab. Please give them a round of applause. A little change in our history for a moment. We're privileged to hear from Letitia Adams, who will introduce our speaker for the afternoon. She is the manager of government relations for Walt Disney World, and she will welcome.
hear from Angela Suggs, a woman who is certainly on the move in every sense of the word. Mrs. Suggs is the president and CEO of the Florida Sports Foundation. And as the first woman and first person of color to serve in this capacity in the 27-year history of the world. Suggs is no stranger to breaking glass ceilings. She is a dynamic businesswoman, previously at Joe Robbie Pro Player Stadium and the Marriott Corporation. At her alma mater, on the highest of Seven Hills, Florida A&M University. She led the Senior Associate Athletics Director of External Affairs and Senior Women Administrator. She also previously led university athletics, marketing, encompassing promotions, development, athletics, communications, licensing, and branding. Yes, folks, she did it all. Suggs says, several women are breaking through every day, and I'm just proud to be one of them. It gives us great pleasure to recognize and applaud for outstanding accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome me, to help me in welcoming a phenomenal woman, Angela Suggs.
Letitia is actually one of my bosses. She serves on our board of directors, and so I'm so appreciative of those kind words. And thank you to each of you that are here with us today on this very special occasion. I grew up in the Baptist church, and so protocol having been established, I am so honored to be here with you today. And honored because I'm blessed to continually be in the midst of greatness. Specifically today, as we honor so many of you, those of you that were with us last night for our amazing 2019 Onyx Woman on the Move, Woman of the Year, Dr. Melissa Freeman. If you missed last evening, do not worry yourselves 1 microsecond, because today we also are here to honor so many more women. As we look around this room, we are I'm almost speechless. Because as I think about having grown up around so many amazing women, and to stand here today as I looked at the list of honorees when I was asked to stand before you, I said, me? Me? As the keynote? What about a welcome? You know, like an occasion or something along those lines. Because today, you and I are in the midst of Dr. Paulette Walker, the 25th National President of the greatest sisterhood in the world, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Yes, I'm out. We are here in the midst of Attorney Carolyn House Stewart, the 28th International President of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Here in the midst of United States Congresswoman Val Deming, representing the 19th District of Florida in the U.S. House of Representatives. Here in the midst of representatives Representative Geraldine Thompson, representing the 44th District in the Florida House of Representatives. Here in the midst of District 6, Orange County Commissioner Victoria Sipling, thank you so much for hosting us in your beautiful slice of the world, along with our other elected officials here today. Here in the midst of doctors, like Dr. Ann Ashley Gilbert, Director of Business Development, like Sherry Brown, Senior Vice President of Global Banking, Kathy Brown Butler, presidents and provosts of institutions of higher learning, like President Williams and Provost Dewey. And community development founders and leaders like Chloe Coney, my Beta Alpha star, but I definitely respect to you. I am grateful that I can proudly, comfortably, confidently, and boldly stand in your company because of the lessons that were planted deep in me in fertile soil along my journey. Life lessons, earned lessons, tried and true lessons, from billionaires to young hungry interns, from chief executives to the janitor, from global travelers to elders that have never been outside their county lines. Lessons that taught me that anyone can plant a seed of wisdom if we are willing to pause and listen. If we are willing to hear it for what it is. If we are willing to parse it down for what we need it to be. For our now, for our next, for our evermore. These lessons have helped fortify my resolve, straighten my posture, strengthen my fight, and fuel my soul, even on days when I felt like the world was crumbling around me. I just recently had the opportunity to host with my Florida Sports Foundation team, and two of them are here in the room with me today. My Vice President for Amateur Sports, Marvin Green, and my executive assistant, who just keeps me together, Demetrius Burst. Thank you for being here. Along with that great team, our phenomenal board of directors, and the Palm Beach County Sports Commission, the Governor's Baseball Dinner was my second of this nature. I was able to present to many Major League Baseball teams, executives, players, and fans, including our last two World Series champions. I had the opportunity to share the stage with our governor of the nation's third largest state, our chairman, and the commissioner of Major League Baseball. I was humbled. Because yes, while I realized I've worked hard, toiled diligently, and along the way had an opportunity to earn every step that I'm now afforded, I also realized, but God, and the grace that He has provided. And so many times, and in so many moments, that moments like that and moments like this would not be possible. Again, I'm humbled. Realizing that as I stand boldly, not for me, but for the next manager of government relations, Ms. Letitia Adams, and realizing that the next chief financial officer of a state municipal power agency, Linda S. Howard, and the next attorney shareholder of a law firm, also my Beta Alpha SAR, Nikki Lewis Simon, and the next managing partner at a law firm and former deputy governor of the British Virgin Islands, Doncia Penn, and the next president of a motion picture and video production business, Vicki Oldham, and the next vice president and chief information officer of an award-winning hospital and clinic network, Navlet Mathis, and the next president of a sports-related not-for-profit focused on women of color, Clemmy Perry, and the next entertainer extraordinaire, Jacqueline Jones, and the next administrator of a nursing and rehabilitation center, Eloise Abrahams, and the next senior
for Communications Company, Melanie Williams, and the next founder and pastor, not just of a ministry, but a movement, Dr. Reva Tim. Today, March 1st, marks the beginning of Women's History Month. And as I stand here, encouraged for women on the move, more than I ever have before, I am motivated, I am encouraged, I am excited about women leading in the United States Congress, one of the largest incoming classes of women lawmakers ever, surely one of the most diverse. Representation matters. Women leading in business, technology, entertainment, including those that had us beaming with pride during this past Sunday's Oscars. Watching the powerful Regina King win the Best Supporting Actress in It Bill Street to Talk, then soon followed by Ruth Carter winning for costume design, and Hannah Beachler winning the Best Production Design, making them the first African-American women to win an Academy Award in those respective categories. And Ms. Beachler, not only the first woman of color to win in that category, but the first to be nominated. Inclusion matters. I'm encouraged by fearless women leading with poise, holding seats in the highest levels of our nation's judicial system. United States Supreme Court Associate Justice Sonia Sotomayor, the first Hispanic and Latino justice born of Puerto Rican descent. I stand here for my mother, who grew up in South Georgia, picked tobacco in the morning, then walked to school. She later went to Savannah State on a basketball scholarship and is in their Basketball Hall of Fame. Mom went to Syracuse in the 1950s to get a master's degree, then came back to Florida State University in the 70s to get a PhD. My mom, Dr. Ida Adams, a university librarian whose strong work ethic and commitment inspires and motivates me every day. She is a constant memory and influence in my life. Through her attention to detail in every endeavor, she literally poured into my spirit the strength, tenacity, skill, and balance required to allow me to be present for serving as an event host for international audiences, to be present to assist and support the activation of Super Bowls and All-Star games, and present for discussions that influence where world-class events are held, but also to be present for mothers that need to connect for peace of mind, and for my friends when it's time to celebrate, and still be present for a late night chill and grill on the back porch with my biggest fan, my husband, Dad. I stand here for my dad, Ben Adams, born in 1919 in Marengo County, Alabama. I have to remind people that sometimes I have this girlish look to me. I'm only 3 generations removed from slavery. My dad's grandfather, that would be my great-grandfather, my grandmother's father, was born into slavery, and before he died, had a doctorate of divinity from Selma University. I'm that sandwich generation, which for me means I was caring for my father as he approached 90 while having a precious baby girl. So as you can imagine, excuses really don't exist in our family. I grew up as an only child, and they didn't have anyone else to encourage this spirit of work ethic and no excuses except me. It was a full-time job. I got their full-time focus and attention in terms of understanding how to prepare for opportunities and learning that old adage of success is when preparation meets opportunity. With those lessons, I stand here for our daughter, Dylan. She's 12. She reminds us daily that she'll be 13 in July. You all pray for us. All the lessons of patience and resilience will be tested. Continually making sure to empower her, I often share that nugget of wisdom that I learned long ago with many of you, that excuses are tools of incompetence. I remind her that while we are raising an amazing child, we are raising her to be an even more amazing adult. As she grows and develops through the stages of childhood and adolescence, my husband and I and our village are committed to equipping her with the characteristics and traits necessary to succeed as an adult. It's okay for her to be a cool kid, but we want her to even be a better adult. After all, she's us, and we are actively shaping a vision of what she knows she can become, and that is a powerful woman. In closing, I am so very much thankful for my Florida Sports Foundation team and the tireless work that they do to continually promote and support Florida's $57.4 billion sports industry. Without an amazing team, because that's what we are, a team, and a supportive and engaging board of directors, I could not do what I do. I could not represent the members of our legislature and our governor in terms of promoting what crosses the aisles, what everyone can root for. Be you of any hue, be you from any place, you can root for the same team. Also, a tremendous debt of gratitude to publisher, editor-in-chief, Dr. Rich Black. Since he's given all of us an honorary doctorate, we bestow that honor back on him. Managing editor D. Chanel Reed, the amazing chair and co-chair of today's event, Deidre Parker and Nancy Schwab, for whom, without your tireless work, none of this would be possible. And lastly, I'm so very blessed to be a part of this village of women on the move. I'll tell you, for those of you that are on Facebook and your birthday rolls around, the first time you see that love that pours out on your birthday, I'll tell you, last year has been an amazing year. I thank you for the honor that was given to me to grace the cover. That was, again, one of those who me. And with that, it has truly been an honor. And so I thank you that we will continue to work together so that we can have not just a seat at the table, but that we can own the table while honoring those that we stand on the shoulders of. And I look forward to continuing to encouraging you as you encourage me, supporting your drive, supporting your passion for that of the next generation. Thank you all.
The comments that Ms. Suggs was recognizing others. And she herself is, as you heard, first African-American female president. I know she was introduced by Ms. Katisha, but you need to recognize who she is. She was so busy in recognizing others. We just want to say thank you. And as we continue, they've already been introduced. They don't need to be introduced. We're just asking the co-chairs who worked so hard, Nancy and Dee, to come up.
Thank you, Carolyn. And thank you, Ms. Suggs, for your inspirational words. I wanted to be sure that I had the opportunity to introduce one of the women I admire most in Orlando, in Central Florida, and that is our Orlando City Commissioner, Regina Hill. And so now it's time for us to celebrate the Women on the Move class of 2019. Please welcome Erica Washington, Public Information Officer in the State Attorney's Office, 9th Judicial Court, and Onyx Magazine founder, Mr. Lester Sayes.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm going to get right to business because I know time is of the essence, but I need to put on my glasses. I didn't have to do this, but y'all will read it correctly, I guess. I don't know when it changed. Okay. Without further ado, I'd like to congratulate Dr. Elizabeth Dooley, Dr. Elizabeth Dooley is the University of Central Florida's Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs. She provides academic leadership for UCF's 13 colleges, multiple campuses, research centers, and institutes. She is responsible for curriculum, academic planning, faculty appointments, faculty development, promotion, and tenure decisions. Prior to UCF, she was the founding dean of the University of College and department chair of curriculum, instruction, literacy studies, and special education at West Virginia University. I'm going to keep it moving, everybody. Eloise Abrams, congratulations. Eloise Abrams has been helping to improve the lives of Central Floridians, particularly in the African American community, as a nursing home administrator for the Guardian Care Nursing and Rehabilitation Center since 2012. In her position, Abrams has established an excellent rapport with residents, their families, the staff, and the greater Central Florida community. Abrams has helped lead the organization to several notable recognitions, including the Silver Quality Award from the Agency of Healthcare Administration. Congratulations, Dr. Ann Ashley Gilbert. Dr. Ashley Gilbert is a pioneer in women's health in Central Florida. She and Dr. Billie Jean Pace co-founded the Altamont Women's Center in 1984. In 2004, the center was named the best OBGYN practice by Florida Business Magazine, and in 2018, Dr. Ashley Gilbert was the recipient of the Dr. Alfred R. Bookhart Orange County Health Equity Award. She has published numerous articles in the Godly Business Women's Magazine. Congratulations, Sherry Brown. Sherry T. Brown is the Director of Multicultural Business Development with Visit Tampa Bay. She has made a strong impact by bringing national and international conventions to Tampa. In 2013, she traveled to China to draw the International India Film Academy, Bollywood, to Tampa. Brown persuaded Joyce Meyer Ministries to host a convention in Tampa after hosting the same event in St. Louis, Missouri for 36 years. Brown is involved in many civic and community organizations. Kathy Brown Butler, congratulations. Kathy Brown Butler is a member of Bank of America's operations team as a business support executive. She works with local markets organization within the bank to help local teams deliver market strategies and manage processes, tools, and resources that provide support for fiscal management, risk compliance, and brand. She currently serves on the One Pulse Foundation Board, the Nemours Children's Hospital Florida Board, and is involved with many civic and community organizations. Congratulations to Chloe Coney. Chloe J. Coney established the corporation to develop communities of Tampa in 1992 and became its first president and CEO, bringing more than $50 million of funding into East Tampa. She has received numerous awards, including the Greater Tampa Chamber of Commerce H.L. Colbert Jr. Award of Leadership, the Tampa Organization of Black Affairs Dr. Ike Tribble Leadership Award, and the Tampa Bay Lightning Communities Hero Award. I need a co-founder to come to the stage to take the photos with them, please. Okay. All right. Congratulations, Congressman Val Deming. In 2016, Val Deming was elected to the United States Congress in Florida's 10th district and served on the House Intelligence, Judiciary, and Homeland Orlando Police Department, the first woman to hold that position, and in that role, she founded the Operation Positive Direction, a youth mentoring program designed to strengthen the relationship between law enforcement and youth in the community. Linda Howard. Congratulations. Linda S. Howard is the Chief Financial Officer at Florida Municipal Power Agency. Howard was the first African-American president of the Florida Government Finance Officers Association and past president and founding member of the Greater Orlando chapter of the National Association of Black Accountants, Incorporated. She is a member of the Florida Institute of Public Certified Public Accountants and was selected as its Speaker of the Year for the work in the financial literacy arena. Congratulations to Jacqueline Jones. Ms. Jacqueline Jones is a song stylist. Oh, there we go. Okay. This separates her from the pack and guarantees performances full of wit and charm. Happy beats that could take you anywhere. Jones was born in Gary, Indiana, and has been performing professionally since the age of 4. Her appearance on The Tonight Show sparked engagements at Harrah's in Las Vegas and led to engagements around the world from New York to Japan. Congratulations, Ms. Nikki Lewis Simon. Nikki Lewis Simon is shareholder and Chief Diversity Officer in Greenberg Trarix PAs. And in this evolving role, Lewis Simon works to strategically align the firm's diversity and inclusion programming and initiatives with client needs. She devotes much of her time to important organizations and causes. Lewis Simon has been recognized in the South Florida Legal Guide as top up-and-comer, Florida's Trend Legal Elite, and in Diversity Journal's Women Worth Watching. Congratulations, Navlet Mattis. As Orlando Health's Chief Information Officer, Navlet Mattis provides executive leadership for information technology and systems that advance clinical and business strategies and optimize operational processes. Mattis held similarly prominent leadership roles in other major healthcare systems. Beyond healthcare enterprises, her career comprises more than 20 years in significant management positions and notable technology companies. In 2011, Mattis earned the Triangle Business Journal's Businesswoman of the Year recognition. Congratulations to Vicki Oldham. Vicki Oldham is the president of Vicki O, Heritage Productions. She is spearheading a groundbreaking historic preservation project called Newtown Alive. It began as an initiative to trace the 100-year history of the African-American community of Newtown, a community in Sarasota, but has quickly expanded into a heritage tourism project that is causing residents and visitors to take a second look at the neighborhood through the lens of history. Congratulations, Clemmy Perry. Clemmy Perry is the founder and executive director of Women of Color Golf and Girls on the Green Tee. The programs promote and facilitate the inclusion of minority women and girls into the game of golf. Girls on the Green Tee was recognized by former President Barack Obama as a U.S. White House champion of change for after-school programs for marginalized girls. Congratulations, Commissioner Victoria Siplin. In 2018 August primary, Victoria P. Siplin was overwhelmingly re-elected Commissioner of Orange County District by 75% of her constituents. She made history in 2014 as the first Haitian American elected official in the Central Florida and served as Vice Mayor of Orange County in 2017. Siplin chairs the National Haitian American Elected Officials Network and a proud member on the National Association of Counties, among other committees. Congratulations, Carolyn House Stewart. Attorney Carolyn House Stewart is the 28th International President of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Under her leadership, members volunteered 6 million hours of service and impacted the lives of 26 million people in communities all over the globe. Stewart was managing attorney for Carolyn House Stewart, PA, as she received a congressional record citation for her leadership and service to the community and was recognized as a trailblazer by the U.S. District Court. Congratulations, Representative Geraldine Thompson. When Florida State Representative Geraldine F. Thompson was elected in November to serve House District 44, she became the first woman, Democrat, and person of color to be elected to the district. Thompson developed a reputation as a respected historian for compiling the history of African Americans in Central Florida and authoring the book Black America, Orlando, Florida. She led the campaign to preserve one of Orlando's unique landmarks, the Wells-built Hotel. Congratulations, Dr. Reva Timms. Dr. Reva Timms is a mother, motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and pastor of Majestic Life Ministries in Orlando. She is the host of the Glory of Gospel radio program on 95.5 FM. Pastor Timms received the National Association of Professional Women Woman of the Year Award in 2010-2011, and in January 2017, she was the recipient of the prestigious President's Lifetime Achievement Award presented on behalf of President Barack Obama. Congratulations, Dr. Paulette Walker. Dr. Paulette C. Walker is the 25th National President of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And in July 2011, she retired as the Director of Undergraduate Programs and Internship in the College of Education at the University of South Florida in Tampa. Her noteworthy accomplishments have earned her numerous awards, keys to cities, and other special honors and recognition from a multitude of professional, civic, and religious organizations. Congratulations, Melanie Williams. Melanie Williams is the Senior Vice President of Operations for Frontier Communications South Region and leads 7 states and more than 1,500 employees. Her charter is continuous growth and service delivery excellence for Frontier's customers. Her team is top ranked in customer experience and broadband growth. Selected for the Hillsborough Area Regional Trust Transit Authority Board by Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn, Williams was appointed Vice Chair of the Board of Directors for 2019. And congratulations to Dr. Tanja Williams. Dr. Tanja Williams is the 7th President of St. Petersburg College. A St. Petersburg native, Williams began her tenure with the college 31 years ago, rising through the ranks in a variety of academic and administrative roles, including Senior Vice President for Student Services and Provost of Tarpon Springs campus. Last year, she was named one of the top 25 women in higher education by Diverse Issues in Higher Education. And can we just have one more round of applause for all of the award recipients? And if I can please call next up District 6 Commissioner Samuel Ames to the stage. Thank you.
Oh, okay, great. You know, this is a good part of a servant leader. They know when to step up to the podium. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Nancy Penn, International Woman on the Move. She is a lawyer, arbitrator, and mediator in active practice in the British Virgin Isles. Penn's career has been diverse and unique. She has a distinguished career at the private bar and the unique distinction of having served in the executive, legislative, and judiciary branches of government. She has served as Attorney General, Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands. Come on, let's give it up. A parliamentarian, Deputy Premier, and Minister of Health, Social Development, and Gender, and an acting Justice of Appeal of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. Penn is currently the managing partner of a boutique law firm in the British Virgin Islands, Nancy Penn and Company. In 2018, Penn was conferred with the Pelican Award, the highest peer award of the alumni of the University of the West Indies, for her sterling contributions in the field of politics. For excellence in law, Penn is a graduate of the University of the West Indies and the Norman Manley Law School of the Council of Legal Education of the West Indies. I present to you Ms. Dancia Penn.
Congratulations, Ms. Penn, there's no question about it. We're continuing, we're almost at the end, but I've been overwhelmed by the people that are in the room. And just so you know, what people coming from far and near, I'm not going to ask you to stand and wave your hand so we can see you. The Honorable Gary Leon, Justice, is here. We have the, David Bledsoe, who is the President of Morse. The National Black Business Support Corporation. Kathleen Miller, who is the County Commissioner of District 3. Albert Kama, who is the CEO and Executive Director of Pulse. Now, dare anyone to tell you work with first-class people today. It is quite an experience to have so many of you here supporting the work that Onyx is doing. But now we come to the moment that we have been certainly looking forward. Some of you met her on last night, but we are very, very honored. It's wonderful when you can say you're meeting people that truly, truly made a lasting history and impact on our lives. And while we've recognized all of you are very important, it is my pleasure to bring back to the podium Ms. Marisol Romney to present our Woman of the Year Award.
I am humbled to stand in front of you once more with such an honor today. And while we're here when it matters most, it gives us really, truly great pleasure to see so many accomplished people taking care of everyone in our community today. Please give yourselves a hand. I'd like to ask Dr. Clifford Porter, VP of Institutional Advancement of Bethune-Cookman University, to please come to the podium. And I know he has two very important people with him, so I'm going to ask him if he can introduce them and bring them to the podium with him. Okay. So just so you know who they were, it was going to be Miss Bethune-Cookman and the Student Government Association President. to thank you for this opportunity to present the very McLeod Legacy Award to a Woman of the Year, Dr. Melissa Freeman. Dr. Melissa Freeman, the granddaughter of a slave, is a native New Yorker. She was born and raised in the Williamsbridge section of the Bronx. Her father, a Pullman porter, was a great influence in her life. He introduced her to music, and at an early age, she began to study the piano. She attended the music and art high school, and at age of 13, excelled on the bass violin. Dr. Freeman attended Hunter College to study medicine, and completed her studies at Howard University College of Medicine. In 1964, Dr. Melissa Freeman joined the staff of Mount Sinai Beth Israel Clinic in New York, a clinic that is for the treatment of narcotic-addicted individuals. She is a pioneer in the treatment of opioid-addicted women and the first doctor in the nation to care for them with a methadone maintenance modality of treatment. Dr. Freeman continues to work part-time at Mount Sinai Beth Israel as a medical director of the methadone clinic, treating more than 200 patients per year for opioid addiction. For more than 30 years, Dr. Freeman has served as the Harlem, New York community with a successful private practice in internal medicine. She has received countless honors in recognition of her work. Please, once again, help me welcome Dr. Melissa.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It is indeed a great pleasure to be here, and I feel so honored to have been asked to come and be given this opportunity to serve the community that I work in and to serve the patients who need not only my assistance in internal medicine, but also as people who are addicted to drugs, and to be honored by you, this wonderful organization. I thank Mr. Clark, I'm sorry, not Mr. Clark, Mr. Black and his staff for assisting me to come and be here today, and to certainly to enjoy hearing about the other wonderful persons who have been honored by you in the past. Yes, my granddad was a slave, and he was freed. First, he was taken from his mother as a small child and given away, or sold away, we don't know which. And then they told him when the emancipation was signed that he could return to his mother. He knew where she lived, and he went to her, and they never parted. He came to New York and set up a home. He bought property, and he and my grandmother decided that the grandchildren should live in that home and always be close. There were 4 of us. I am the oldest of them, and I was 17 when Papa died. I was not studying medicine, but I knew that I wanted to go to college. My father decided that I should go to a special college in New York City, a city college known as Hunter College. I did that. My father didn't make it. He did not survive. He passed away from cancer when I was 13 years old. But I had help. My mother and my aunt stood beside us, and we managed to get through college. And then, why was I going to study medicine? Where was I going to get the funds? But I went faithfully to my church. My grandfather belonged to the church. It was a Baptist church in the Bronx, and we all went there. I was baptized there, and I knew that God could do anything and help me through anything that I needed help with, and He did. I made it through 4 years of medical school at Howard University. In fact, next year will be my 65th year of graduation from Howard University. as was mentioned, at a hospital, Bethesda Medical Center. And a young man brought a patient. I was working in the medical clinic. He brought this young woman to see me. We didn't know what to do. She was a drug addict. And he said, is there anything that you think we can do? I said, I don't know. Because all we had then to treat people who were addicted would be detoxification from the drug. And then they would go back out. Many of them even were sent by the government to Lexington, Kentucky, and they would tell me later on, I learned that on their way back from KY, as they called it, they would get the urge to resume their drug treatment. Not treatment, but begin their drug abuse. So many years later, there were two physicians, Drs. Vincent Dole and Dr. Marie Naxwander, who decided that they would like to try to find out what could help these young people who were addicted to drugs. They met and served only male patients. They were not certain how this would affect females. They tried different methods, and then they noted that with the use of methadone, a medication which was not a new medication in the world, it was first used in Germany to treat women who were in labor. And they decided then that they would try giving them the methadone to detox from the opioid. But they noted that as they gave them the dose of methadone, they seemed to be more comfortable. So they began to increase the dose and gave them doses that made them comfortable, removed the urge to use drugs, and they were able to, fortunately, help them to survive the opioid. And finally, they decided, well, let's try with women. They brought the women in they were going to bring women in to treatment, but they didn't have a physician. The young man who was a social worker and had brought that first patient to me some years before suggested maybe I would be interested in doing it. I had no knowledge of treatment of narcotic addiction. Medical schools did not teach much about treatment or management of opioid-dependent people. But he said maybe I would like to try. They approached me, these two wonderful doctors, and I said, yes, I would be interested in trying. So I treated the very first women ever to be treated with on methadone was my patient, and we treated her in our facility, inpatient facility, and so forth. And I've gone on. I'm treating still. I do part of my day. I start out in the morning treating people who are addicted, not only females at this time, but anyone who comes to our clinic and asks for help. And then I leave and take the subway as I want to, and travel up to my practice in internal medicine. And I still feel that that is such an important thing to do because there's so many of our people who are not getting all the help that they need. And so I feel that as long as I'm able to work, and as long as God is with me, and He has certainly been with me all the way, I will continue to do this. So, all I can say is that if I can help somebody as I travel along, then my living will not be in vain.
When you leave here today, and I believe in carrying on the baton, not only have you seen history, not only have you heard history, but your being here, you are also history. There are those of us who won't even cross the parking lot and hear this lady rides the subway to take care of other people. So think about that. Think about what you can do. When we look at the theme for Women's Month this year, it was be brave, be bold, be flexible. And I think that certainly our Woman of the Year represents that. And as we close, leave here with, we introduced so many, and I missed some. I saw Representative Ellsworth Reddick, who's a known historian in the community, that he's here today. And please don't leave. All of the 21 diamonds that we saw, that we go and spread the word. We want you to come up at the end of the program to take a picture. It's been a great Friday. You have a lot to talk about over the weekend. But Michelle Obama in her book Becoming talked about, I'm an ordinary person on an extraordinary journey. And her advice is, maybe we can better embrace the ways we are the same. It's not about being perfect. It's not about where you get yourself in the end. There is power in allowing yourself to be known and heard. And each of these 21 are known and heard. In owning your unique story, many times we try to do somebody else's story. When we talk about the moments, this is one. This is a moment we'll never forget. In meeting history, in seeing history, in being history. Use your authentic voice. And there's grace in being willing to know and hear others. This is the way we become. This is the way we carry on our history. I want to indeed thank Nancy and Dee and Onyx and Richard and all of those who contributed to today's program. I am filled. I was almost in tears when I saw the good doctor come up and talk about her life and share it and keep doing it. And some of us say, when I get whatever age, I'm going to be tired. I want to retire. But she gives the example of, my grandfather used to say to her, he said, well, keep on going. And for those of you who are not Southern, that's keep on going. And she's a great example. So I want to leave you this afternoon with knowing that this moment will never be repeated, but hopefully it will be etched in our minds and our action that we met women on the move who would help our nation, our communities continue to be on the move. Good afternoon.
Hi everybody, I'm here at the Onyx Awards, Women on the Move, and I have Miss Jackie, I would say Jacqueline Jones, with with us, and I want you to know who she's a great singer. I don't think I've had the pleasure of hearing her sing, but listen, everybody told me I need to go on YouTube, so I'm going on YouTube and check her out. But I'll vouch for her because the people that said she can sing can really sing. So how are you doing, Miss Jones?
I am doing fantastic, but you are to come to Jazz Tastings the third Thursday in this month to hear me sing. All right?
We need to go to Jazz Tastings.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
I'll be there. All right.
Very
so
good.
Tell the people who you are. We already know that you are a fabulous singer.
Yes.
But you can tell people who you are, Ms. Jones.
Well, I'm also a mentor and an educator. And that is number one, I'm a mentor to people who want to get into the music, young people. All right? And an educator about those who think they already know what they're doing in the music industry.
And they don't.
And they don't.
All right. So tell me, who were some people that... Oh, I need to put the mic to my mouth. That'll be a good thing. So tell me, who were the people that inspired you to be where you are right now?
Oh, my goodness. Well, of all the people that inspired me are my grandmom and my mom, okay, because of the way they taught me and the way they brought me up. They both were singers in that the old Southern gospel vocal groups, you know, but they gave it up to take care of us and raise us as children, you know. And since then, there are people like Billie Holiday and Nancy Wilson and Roberta Flack and someone you might not think, but Miss Bette Midler. Hello.
I know who all those people are.
Yeah, and also the Rat Pack, you know. And I've watched a lot of people and taken from them the best of what they have, like Lena Horne and just incredible things. Vocal training, the vocalese, the stage presence, and bantering with the audience. I love to do that.
Okay. Now, I do have a question for you. Where could people, because you say you are a mentor, where could people contact you if they are interested in having you to be their mentor?
All right, you can go on Facebook, just Jacqueline Jones.
Okay.
And ask me the question about doing that, and I'll see if I can work something out.
All righty, so you have to feel moved by them before you say yes?
Ooh.
All righty, that is awesome. Now tell me this, what would you gave us a little bit, but what would you say to a young artist, male or female, that wants to get into business right now?
Okay, number one, be serious about it, okay? This is something you love to do, you know, whether it's singing or playing a musical instrument. Be something that you love, but also get an alternate education. It's something that you can do anywhere in the country at any time. That's very important because while you're trying to make your way up the ladder, you're going to need some food, to keep a roof over your head, some food in your mouth, and clothes on your back, okay? All right, and wheels, all right? But you're going to need to do that. And it's not going to be easy. Some people it is, but it's very few that it's easy. You're going to need to be serious about doing it, but get an alternate education.
Good morning, everybody. We are here with the guest of honor, Dr. Freeman, and we are so excited to have her. It's Women's Month, and I just want her to tell you a little bit about who she is and how young she is. That's really important.
Good morning or afternoon, whichever it is. But my name is Dr. Melissa Freeman. I am practicing medicine in New York City, and I do internal medicine, adult medicine. And also, I treat people who have a problem with opioid use, with heroin or oxycodone, or any of the other problems. And I've been doing that for about 50 some odd years. Been out of medical school. Next year it'll be 65 years, and my age is 92.
92, and you're still practicing?
I am still practicing.
Oh my God, that is amazing. Now,
I will be 93, but I always say age is just a number, and that's all it is.
And that's it, because you look amazing. That's what I said earlier. I said, you know what, I want to live that, to be that young as well. I said, the Lord told us he'd give us 120. So I said, I'll take that for sure. Now, I do have a question now. You are practicing right now. You have patients that you see. What would you say to a young lady that wants to be a doctor and it doesn't seem possible for her right now?
Well, I would just tell them to study hard, to work hard, prepare themselves, and look to God to help them to get to the point that they would like to reach. It's not impossible. Not impossible.
Well, I know it's not impossible. You're showing us that today. So I have another question for you. What inspired you to even become a doctor and to do it as long as you're doing it right now? Like, what motivates you to get up every single day to go to your office?
Well, of course, it's for me a point of trying to help. There are so many people in need, not only of medical help, but of social problems, of environmental problems. And if I can help, if I can work with them or help them to be guided into situations that they can receive help, I will do so. And so that's my motivation.
Oh, that's awesome. And I know that you have been a woman on the move. Plenty of times you have had so many honors. So tell me this, what is so important to you about being a woman on the move at 92, almost 93 years young?
Well, it was just an honor to have been invited to this particular affair. Mr. Black and other members of his staff have been so kind and so gracious. It's just been wonderful to be doing this. And so I am here, and I've been in Orlando several times for meetings, for conferences and meetings, but this is one of the highlights, certainly.
Okay, and I know our weather is great for you today, right?
Oh, yes.
I know it.
It doesn't compare with what we've got in New York. We've got cold weather, snow. We don't know what we're going to get. But nonetheless, we're here, and we do what we have to do where we do it.